Imagine this scenario. It was the year 1975 in Okinawa, Japan. Dr. Makoto Suzuki, a young heart specialist from Tokyo, received a phone call regarding a very special patient. "Doctor, you absolutely must see this," says his colleague. "In the village of Yomatan, there's a 100-year-old woman outside cutting grass with a sickle." With a hesitant attitude, Dr. Suzuki heads toward the scene, expecting to encounter a weak and frail old woman. Instead, he finds someone so full of life, so dynamic, that he doesn't consider herself out of the ordinary at all. That moment changed everything. It sparked a 50-year mission that would reveal mysteries hidden within your body at this very moment. Mysteries capable of literally extending your existence by several decades. Yet here's the amazing thing. At the same time, Dr. Suzuki was documenting these extraordinary centenarians. Another Japanese researcher was making a discovery so groundbreaking it earned him the Nobel Prize. But before continuing, please like the video, share it with people who might benefit from it, and let us know in the comments which city you follow our YouTube channel from. Dr. Yoshinori Osumi had identified something remarkable. Tiny cellular cleanup operators operating within every cell in your body, eliminating tumor cells, consuming fat tissue, and reversing the deterioration caused by old age. The difficulty? These microscopic players only go to work under extremely specific circumstances. And here's the twist. The vast majority of us inadvertently block them daily through seemingly harmless behaviors. Today, I intend to reveal how these Japanese researchers have cracked the code of cellular regeneration. And most importantly, how you can activate this hidden superpower, starting this very evening. But first, let me tell you about the day that changed Dr. Osumi's life forever. It was the year 1988. Dr. Yoshinori Osumi was peering through a microscope at yeast cells, feeling frustrated. For months, he had been trying to understand why cells sometimes seem to feed on themselves. Other researchers thought he was wasting precious time. "It's simply cellular waste disposal," they claimed. However, Osumi had a hunch. He produced special yeast cells and starved them of nutrients. Then he observed something extraordinary happening. Under the microscope, he discerned previously unseen cellular structures, similar to mini Pac-Mans gobbling up deteriorated portions of the cell, transforming them into energy and building blocks. He had identified autophagy, which literally means self-devouring, the most effective anti-aging mechanism in your body. This process isn't just a cleanup. It's more like having a regeneration team that breaks down old, damaged components of your cells and rebuilds them more robustly than before. The scientific community was completely astonished. Here, finally, was proof that your body has a built-in fountain of youth. But there was a complication. Autophagy is only triggered when your body senses it's in survival mode. And Dr. Osumi realized something that would completely change everything. The ancestral eating habits of Japanese centenarians randomly activated this mechanism every single day. Returning to Okinawa, Dr. Suzuki simply couldn't forget the centenarian woman cutting grass. He began visiting numerous elderly residents, and what he discovered completely contradicted everything he knew about aging. These people weren't just living longer, they were living superior lives. At 95, they were still farming. At 100, they were still dancing. Their arteries were cleaner than those of most 50-year-olds. Their tumor levels were virtually non-existent. Their secret wasn't drugs or medical interventions. It was something they did 3 times a day without even thinking about it. Dr. Suzuki discovered that they were following an ancient Confucian principle called hara hachi bu. Before each meal, they silently reminded themselves, eat until you're 8/10 full. Not completely satiated, not fully satisfied, just comfortably satisfied. Sounds simple, right? But here's what Dr. Suzuki realized was happening. By stopping at 80% satiety, these centenarians created the precise circumstances needed to flip the autophagy switch. Their cells received just enough stress to trigger the cleansing and restorative process, but not so much as to become harmful. Picture your cells as an industrial plant. When you're constantly overflowing with food, all the workers are busy processing new materials. There's no time available for routine maintenance. But when you give them a break, when you're at 80% capacity, suddenly the night shift arrives. They begin cleaning, repairing, and disposing of damaged equipment. But the story becomes even more incredible. Enter Dr. Shigaki Hinohara, a man destined to become a living legend in Japan. He wasn't just another scholar. He was someone who would demonstrate these principles by personally living them every single day until the age of 105. Dr. Hinohara had an epiphany early in his professional career. He noticed that every patient suffering from serious digestive problems also had problems elsewhere in their bodies. Their skin appeared prematurely aged. Their energy was low. Their immune systems were weakened. It was precisely then that he realized something profound. The health of your gut is the master switch for everything else. He developed what he called his life extension protocol, but it wasn't complicated at all. Dr. Hinohara ate a light breakfast, a minimal lunch, and saved the main meal for dinner. But here's the crucial key. He finished eating by 6 o'clock in the evening and didn't eat again until 10 o'clock the next morning. That's 16 hours to allow his body to activate its repair systems. The results were extraordinary beyond all expectations. At the age of 100, Dr. Hinohara was still seeing patients. At 102, he flew to New York to give lectures. He worked 18 hours a day and felt more energetic than people half his age. When reporters asked his secret, he smiled and said, "I give my body time to cleanse itself every night." Meanwhile, Dr. Hiromi Shinya was making discoveries that would shock the medical world. This Japanese-American doctor had invented a groundbreaking method for looking inside people's digestive systems, and what he saw completely changed everything he thought he knew about health. Over the course of 30 years, Dr. Shinya examined over 300,000 people's colons. He could predict someone's overall health simply by looking at their digestive tract. People who consumed processed foods, abundant meat and dairy products, had thickened and shortened colons with noticeable deterioration. But people who ate traditional Japanese diets had longer, cleaner colons and appeared decades younger. But here's what really astonished him. The people with the healthiest intestines were those who regularly gave their digestive systems extended breaks. They weren't following fancy diets or taking expensive supplements. They were simply imitating what their ancestors did naturally, consuming foods within a compressed time frame and fasting for extended periods. Dr. Shinya realized that when you constantly overcrowd your digestive system, it never gets a chance to repair itself. But when you give it 14 to 16 hours of rest, something magical happens. The cells lining your intestines begin to fully regenerate. Your liver begins its deep cleansing process. Your entire body shifts into repair mode. Now, here's where all these discoveries converge into something you can use tonight. Dr. Osumi's Nobel Prize-winning research revealed that autophagy doesn't just happen randomly. There's a specific window when it becomes most active, and it's not when you imagine it. Most people believe the magic happens during sleep, but that's only part of the story. The real activation occurs in the final hours before you wake up. When your body has been fasting for 12 to 16 hours, that's precisely when your cellular cleaners clock in for their most intensive shift. But here's the problem with modern dietary patterns. We shut down this process before it can work its transformative magic. We wake up and immediately flood our systems with food, sending a signal that says, "Cancel cleanup crew, new shipments of materials are arriving." The Japanese centenarians discovered something different and revolutionary. They learned to extend that magical, transformative window of fasting, sometimes stretching it to 16 or even 18 hours. During this time, their cells weren't simply surviving the situation. They were thriving vigorously, completely rebuilding themselves, and growing progressively stronger. Dr. Suzuki made another fascinating discovery during his decades of in-depth research. The centenarians of Okinawa weren't just eating smaller amounts. They ate completely different foods than the rest of traditional Japan. While most Japanese ate white rice as their primary carbohydrate, Okinawans ate purple sweet potatoes. This was no accident. These sweet potatoes are loaded with compounds that actually enhance cellular autophagy. They have a low glycemic index, meaning they don't spike your insulin or shut down the cellular cleansing process. Instead, they provide steady energy, keeping your body in a state that promotes effective cellular repair. But sweet potatoes were just the beginning. Dr. Suzuki documented how these centenarians filled their plates with bitter melon, seaweed, tofu, and vegetables in every color of the rainbow imaginable. Each food was like adding another tool to their cellular repair kit. Bitter melon, for example, contains compounds that help regulate blood sugar and keep insulin levels low, which is essential for maintaining autophagy. Algae provide minerals that support the body's detoxification process. Colorful vegetables provide antioxidants that protect cells during their ongoing repair process. This is a detail that most people completely overlook. These centenarians weren't just careful about what they ate, they were strategic about what they drank daily. Dr. Suzuki noticed that many of his healthiest subjects had a daily tea ritual that lasted several hours. But this wasn't just about mental relaxation. The teas they selected, jasmine, green tea, and special Okinawan blends, contained compounds that actually supported the autophagy process. The polyphenols in green tea, for example, help protect cells during their overall cleansing and repair process. Even more interestingly, the ritual of slowly sipping tea throughout the day helped them practice portion control without even thinking about it. When you're focused on mindfully drinking tea, you're less likely to snack without thinking. Another way, they accidentally optimized their continuous cellular regeneration. Dr. Hinohara made a discovery that completely changed his approach to the first meal of the day. Instead of the traditional heavy breakfast, he began with fresh vegetable juice, usually carrot or apple juice, with a tablespoon of olive oil added. This didn't just involve basic nutrition. The olive oil helped slow the absorption of sugars, preventing the insulin spike that would have shut down active autophagy. The vegetable juice provided essential nutrients without overloading the digestive system, which had been working hard all night to effectively clean and repair itself. But here's the crucial part. He drank only half a glass, then waited 20 minutes before consuming anything solid. This allowed his body time to transition gently from fasting to fasting, maximizing the benefits of both distinct phases. What Dr. Suzuki, Dr. Hinohara, and Dr. Shinya all independently discovered was that timing wasn't just important, it was absolutely everything. The human body operates on ancestral rhythms that anticipate alternating periods of feasting and fasting. When we disrupt these rhythms with constant eating, we disrupt the very mechanisms designed to keep us naturally healthy and youthful. The optimal model they discovered together. Finish your last meal by 6 or 7 in the evening. Go to bed on a slightly empty stomach. Wake up and wait at least 12 hours, preferably 16, before your first significant meal. During this window of time, your cellular repair teams are working overtime, correcting deterioration, eliminating accumulated toxins, and literally rebuilding you from the inside out. But here's what makes this different from today's trendy fasting diets. It's not about deprivation or drastic extreme measures. It's about working with your body's natural rhythms, just as the centenarians of Okinawa have done for generations. Here's a sobering reality. Dr. Suzuki's recent research shows that young Okinawans are losing their characteristic longevity advantage. As they've adopted Western dietary patterns, industrially processed foods, constant snacking, and late-night meals, their health outcomes are becoming similar to those of contemporary Americans. This proves that genetics isn't inevitable destiny. Centenarians don't live longer because of special genes. They live longer because of specific behaviors. And when those behaviors change radically, the results also change. But here's real hope. If adopting Western habits can destroy the longevity you've achieved, then adopting centenarian habits can completely restore it. Your cellular repair systems are waiting patiently, ready to spring into action the moment you provide them with the right signals. So, how do you activate this age-old ancestral wisdom? Starting this very evening, drawing on 5 decades of research from these extraordinary Japanese pioneers, here is your detailed, step-by-step activation sequence. Week 1. Begin practicing Hara Hachi Bu diligently. At each meal, stop when you feel about 80% full. It's not about measuring or calculating. It's about carefully tuning into your body's signals. You should feel satisfied, but not completely full, content, but not excessively sleepy. In week 2, gradually extend your overnight fast. Start with 12 hours between your last meal and your first meal afterward. If you finish dinner at 7 in the evening, don't eat until 7 in the morning. Once this becomes comfortable, extend it to 14 hours, then a full 16 hours. In week 3, completely transform your morning routine. Instead of immediately consuming heavy solid food, start with fresh vegetable juice or a soothing herbal tea. Wait patiently for 20 minutes, then consume a light, nutrient-dense meal focusing on fresh vegetables, beneficial healthy fats, and excellent, high-quality protein. In week 4, optimize your main meal of the day. Following the traditional Okinawan model, make it a celebration of brightly colored whole foods. Deep purple sweet potatoes, bright leafy greens, nutritious seaweed, tender tofu, and small amounts of fresh fish or quality lean meat. Season with golden turmeric, spicy ginger, and aromatic garlic. All natural boosters of cellular autophagy. What can you expect as your cellular cleanup teams return to efficient work? Changes occur in waves, just as Dr. Suzuki observed in the centenarians he studied. Initial days, 1 to 7. You'll notice significantly improved energy, especially in the late afternoon when you previously completely slumped. Your sleep will become deeper and more restorative as your body shifts into its natural nighttime repair rhythms. Weeks 2 to 4 will progress. Mental clarity will dramatically improve. That annoying afternoon brain fog will completely disappear. Your skin will begin to appear clearer, brighter, more radiant, and glowing. You may notice your clothes fitting better, even without significant weight loss. Your body is becoming more functionally efficient. 2 to 6 months are transformative. This is where the magic really comes into play. Your immune system strengthens significantly. Minor aches and pains gradually disappear. People begin to comment that you look significantly younger, more vibrant. Your energy becomes consistent throughout the day instead of having sudden peaks and subsequent crashes. As I conclude this narrative, Dr. Makoto Suzuki is still conducting research at the age of 92. He recently began learning a new musical instrument, a traditional 3-stringed sanshin, demonstrating that the intellectual curiosity and joy of continuous learning that characterize his centenarian students continue to drive him tirelessly forward. Dr. Osumi's Nobel Prize-winning research has spawned thousands of subsequent scientific studies, all confirming what he discovered in those yeast cells decades ago. Your body possesses an incredible capacity for regenerative self-renewal, but only when you provide it with the right conditions. The wisdom these visionary Japanese pioneers discovered isn't locked away in expensive proprietary treatments or complicated, inaccessible protocols. It's available to anyone willing to work with their body's ancestral rhythms rather than stubbornly against them. This very evening, as you finish your last meal slightly earlier than usual, remember that you're not just changing your daily eating schedule, you're reawakening cellular repair systems that have been waiting for this signal, perhaps for years or even decades. You are joining a millennia-old tradition that spans generations of the longest-lived people on the planet. Your personal transformation begins with a single conscious choice, giving your body the precious gift of time to fully heal, effectively repair, and regenerate naturally. The extraordinary results, as thousands of Japanese centenarians can personally attest, are nothing short of remarkable and extraordinary.